Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Cymbeline, a play by William Shakespeare. Cymbeline is also known as the Tragedy of Cymbeline or Cymbeline, King of Britain, and the play is set in ancient Britain, and the story is based on legends that formed part of the matter of Britain concerning the early historical Celtic British king Cynbeline. And Cymbeline is the Roman Empire's vassal king of Britain. 20 years earlier, Cymbeline's two infant sons, Guiderius and Arviragus, were kidnapped by an exiled traitor named Belarius. Cymbeline discovers his daughter Imogen has secretly married her lover Posthumus Leonatus, a member of Cymbeline's court. And these lovers have exchanged jewelry as tokens, Imogen with a bracelet and Posthumus with a ring. Cymbeline dismisses the marriage and banishes Posthumus because Imogen, as Cymbeline's the only remaining child, he wanted her to produce a fully royal blood heir to succeed the British throne after him. In the meantime, Cymbeline's queen is conspiring to have Cloten, that is her clottish and arrogant son by an earlier marriage, marry Imogen to secure her bloodline. The queen is also plotting to murder both Imogen and Cymbeline, procuring what she believes is deadly poison from the court doctor. The court doctor is Cornelius and he is suspicious, and therefore he switches the poison for a harmless sleeping potion. The queen passes the poison along to Pisanio, Posthumus and Imogen's royal servant. Imogen is told it is a medical drug. Unable to be with Posthumus, Imogen secludes herself in her chambers away from Cloten's aggressive advances. Posthumus must now live in Italy, where he meets Lachimo, who begs a proud Posthumus that he, that is Lachimo, can seduce Imogen, whom Posthumus has praised for her chastity, and bring Posthumus proof of Imogen's adultery. If Lachimo wins, he will get Posthumus' token ring. If Posthumus wins, not only must Lachimo pay him, but also fight Posthumus in a duel with swords. Lachimo heads to Britain, where he attempts to seduce the faithful Imogen, but Imogen rejects him. Lachimo then hides in a chest in Imogen's bedchamber, and when Imogen falls asleep, he steals Posthumus' bracelet from her. He also takes note of the room as well as the mole on Imogen's partially nude body, so that he can present it as a false evidence to Posthumus that he has seduced his bride. Returning to Italy, Lachimo convinces Posthumus that he has successfully seduced Imogen. In his anger, Posthumus sends two letters to Britain, one to Imogen telling her to meet him at Milford Haven on the Welsh coast, and the other to his servant Pisanio ordering him to murder Imogen at the haven. However, Pisanio refuses and reveals Posthumus' plot to Imogen. He has Imogen disguise herself as a boy, and they continue to Milford Haven to seek employment. He also gives her the queen's poison, believing it will alleviate her psychological distress. In the guise of a boy, Imogen assumes the name Fidel, meaning faithful. Back at Cymbeline's court, Cymbeline refuses to pay his British tribute to the Roman ambassador Caius Lucius. Lucius warns Cymbeline of the Roman emperor's forthcoming wrath, which will be an invasion of Britain by Roman troops. Meanwhile, Cloten learns of the meeting between Imogen and Posthumus at Milford Haven. Dressing himself in Posthumus' clothes, he decides to go to Wales to kill Posthumus and then rape, abduct and marry Imogen. Imogen has now been travelling as fiddle through the Welsh mountains, her health in decline as she comes to a cave. It is the home of Belarius and his sons Plodder and Cadwal, whom he raised into great hunters. The two young men are the British princes Guiderius and Arviragus, who are unaware that they are the legal heirs to the British throne. The men discover Fiddle and instantly captivated by a strange affinity for him, that is her. They become fast friends. Outside the cave, Guiderius is met by Cloten, who insults him, leading to a sword fight during which Guiderius beheads Cloten. Meanwhile, Imogen's fragile state worsens and she takes the poison as a medicine. When the men re-enter, they find her dead. They mourn after placing Cloten's body beside hers, and briefly they depart to prepare for the double burial. Imogen awakes to find the headless body, and since the body is with Posthumus' clothes, she believes that it is Posthumus who is dead and he has been beheaded. Lucius's Roman soldiers have just arrived in Britain, and as the army moves through Wales, Lucius discovers the devastated Fidel, who pretends to be a loyal servant grieving his killed master. Lucius, moved by this faithfulness, enlists Fidel as a page boy. The treacherous queen is now wasting away due to her son Cloten's disappearance. Meanwhile, the guilt-ridden Posthumus enlists in the Roman forces as they invade Britain. Bellaris, Guiderius, Arvigarus, and Posthumus all help rescue Cymbeline from the Roman onslaught. The king does not yet recognize these four, but he takes notice of them as they fight bravely and capture the Roman commanders, Lucius and Lachimo, thus winning the day. Posthumus allows himself to be captured, as well as Fiddle are imprisoned along with the true Romans, who are all awaiting for their execution. In jail, Posthumus sleeps while the ghost of his dead family appear to complain to Jupiter of his grim fate. Jupiter himself appears in thunder and glory to assure the others that destiny will grant happiness to Posthumus and Britain. Cornelius arrives at court to announce the queen's sudden death, and that on her deathbed she unrepentantly confessed to villainous schemes against her husband and his throne. Both troubled and relieved by this news, Cymbeline prepares to execute his prisoners, but pauses when he sees Fidel, whom he finds both beautiful and also familiar. Fidel has noticed Posthumus's ring on Lachimo's finger and demands to know how he obtained it. A remorseful Lachimo confesses about the wager he made and how he tricked Posthumus into believing he had seduced Imogen. Posthumus then comes forward to confirm Lachimo's story, revealing his identity and acknowledging his wrongfulness in wanting Imogen killed. Ecstatic, Imogen throws herself at Posthumus, who, believing she is a boy, knocks her down. Pisanio then rushes to explain that Fidel is Imogen. Imogen still suspects that Pisanio conspired with the queen to poison her. Pisanio claims innocence, and Cornelius reveals the potion was harmless, insisting that his betrayal years ago was a setup. Bellaris makes his own happy confession, revealing Guiderius and Avivarus as Cymbeline's own two long-lost sons. With her brothers restored to the line of inheritance, Imogen is now free to marry Posthumus. An elated Cymbeline pardons Bellaris and the Roman emperor's prisoners, including Lucius and Lachimo. Lucius summons his soothsayer to decipher a prophecy of recent events, which ensures happiness for all. Blaming his manipulative queen for his refusal to pay earlier, Cymbeline now agrees to pay the tribute to the Roman emperor as a gesture of peace between Britain and Rome. And here ends the play. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box, like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.